Hello. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. We are ready. We are ready to go. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so we're getting ready to go. Today we're going to talk a little about doing business. Hopefully you guys can hear me well, hear me strong, hear me clear. Elsa says no sound. Is that true? I feel like there's sound. There's sound? Why is everybody saying, yo, Stu? This is Joe. I'm not Stu. This is Joe. All right, so everybody can hear me. Let's get started. So we're talking about getting business because remember, the goal is not only pass the exam, the goal is to sell real estate, right? The goal is to sell real estate. I'm going to talk to you a little about that. The reason we're doing this because many of you guys ask me, Joe, how'd you get all these followers on YouTube? How do you get the people on Instagram? How do you grow the email list? We want to do business. Okay, we want to do business. So I'm here to help you with that. All right, I'm here to help you with that so you guys can get the business going. And keep in mind, you could do a lot of this while you're studying. If you haven't passed yet, a lot of what I talk about you could do while you're studying because you do not want to pass and be like, what do I do now? What now? That's the worst, okay? You don't want to pass your exam and be like, what do I do now? So you want to set up the foundation so after you pass, you can be successful immediately. Immediately. If you guys follow us, it'll happen immediately. And we'll talk about different topics on the Agent School channel you're on right now. Okay? So that's the goal, to make sure you guys can excel above and beyond everybody else. All right? So today we're talking about a Facebook business page. And before we do that, all right, make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's right there, instagram.com/Joe Judah. I did a great interview today with Zariah Vila. Zariah, who got 90% of her business off of Instagram. And she's only within the first few years of her business. So I talked to her a little bit because I wanted to share that with you guys. Okay? So today, before we start, all good marketing starts with a question. What problem can you solve? All right, when you build your marketing, you guys have to start with a basic question you got to ask people. The goal of this question, all right, is to create interaction with everybody and follow what you need to answer. You all want to solve a problem of, I want to buy or sell a house. Can I help you? Can you help me? Yada, yada, yada. Obviously, everybody wants to do that, but that's kind of a home run hit. You don't want to start there, all right? You need to solve little problems and answer as many questions along the way before being trusted to handle somebody's money and their home. Everybody got that? What I have on the board is extremely important, and as I lead into today's talk, I want you guys to remember that. Everybody wants to post things like, I'm ready to sell your home. I'm ready to help you buy the home of your dreams. Well, who are you? Why should I trust you to do that? You got to set up your social media to answer simple questions about your community and about real estate. Could be as simple as where the best restaurant is, what are the values of properties these days, what are the values of income property, what's going on with the local school, things of that nature. So you got to pose questions to people, and you can do it in the form of a post or a story. Find out what they want to know. Everybody got that? Find out what they want to know. All right, about the community. And start answering those questions as much as you can. Everybody got that? Right? I got it, Joe. I got it, Joe. The common mistake people make is they go right for the big home run hit of, I want to list your $1 billion home. Well, it doesn't work like that. You got to build a rapport and a reputation. Okay? So today, we're going to talk about that Facebook business page. Okay, so here's my question for you. Why use a Facebook business page instead of a personal profile? Anybody know? Anybody can answer this? Lily said, so start with the lower valued homes. So Lily, start with anything. Just start the conversation. I guess that's my point with the social media. Start the conversation. Everybody listen to me carefully on this. Everybody listening? Are you guys listening? Right? I'm listening, Joe. I'm listening because this is going to be the point of everything. You right? You listening? The point is your social media to make them feel like they know you, to make them comfortable with you. How many of you guys, maybe not all of you, but feel like you're familiar with me, where if you ran into me at Starbucks, it would almost be like, oh, hey, Joe, what's up? Okay, that's the goal. The goal through everything you do, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, email marketing, any of this stuff online, is to make as many people as possible, an amount that would be incomprehensible in person, no matter how big of parties you go to make them feel like they know you when you finally meet. So when you have that first interaction, it just feels so comfortable. Okay? That's the goal. All right. So you use a Facebook business page, personal, for many reasons, and we're going to go over those. Yes, it's more professional, but there's also like certain utilities you'll have at your disposal that you wouldn't have with a personal profile. Okay? Everybody got it? When I say got it, just right, I got it, because it helps me know that the sound is good and the audio is good and everything's working. Because sometimes when I talk, I'm like, anybody out there? I'm not sure. It's one of the burdens of doing webinars. Thanks, Brooke Spears. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I don't know if you guys ever taught into a computer. Sometimes you're not sure if everybody's there. All right, so let's go over this Facebook business page stuff. Super vital, super important. Everybody should use it. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys, the ability to prompt, post, and I meant to write promote, excuse me. Promote, post, and create paid advertisements when you become more advanced. You cannot create paid ads from your personal profile. I'm not going to talk about this too much because I said this is a little more advanced, but something you should know right off the bat. Paid advertising, which is what you're going to want to do at some point, whether it's boosting a post, creating some targeted marketing, promoting an event or a listing, cannot be done from your personal profile. Okay? All right, got it? All right, so that's number one. And if I say something you didn't know before, be like, good point. Number two, this one's a doozy. Privacy matters. You guys are not social media experts. You should know a basic amount, which we're going to teach you in some great things to do, all right? But you're never going to be a super duper expert. You're going to be a real estate expert. Okay? You're going to know the basics of marketing. So if you want a true expert to help you, you could give them access to your business profile without giving them access to all your personal information. Darnell says, why can't you do business from your personal profile? The function isn't there on your personal profile. You can't promote that page. Okay? So the beauty of a business profile, you can give somebody access to that information and those utilities, right? Where if you want them to work on your Facebook page through your personal profile, you're giving them access to everything. And your personal profile should be used for things that you enjoy. Whether it's talking about politics, religion, romance, what you did on a Saturday night, your vacations, that's your business. You should enjoy doing that. But you don't necessarily want to put those things out to the public, okay? That is where your professional profile comes in. Your personal life, you should be able to enjoy, and if that means sharing photos of your kid eating a hamburger, then you should be able to do that. But that is not necessarily stuff you want to put in your business page. Okay, Amanda Olson said you can name them as the admin. That is great. So this is a big one. Many of you guys right off the bat want somebody to help you. Now you guys may think, but this costs a lot of money, it's really expensive. It doesn't cost that much. You could get some people who are independent who handle lots of these profiles. It won't cost that much, especially when you get these young kids right out of college or still in college. They could handle it because, let's be honest, you don't need a super advanced person to do a lot. Sometimes you just need somebody who has a basic knowledge of maintenance and to do things on a regular basis. And sometimes, frankly, you just want them to peruse it to make sure everything's the way it should be. And you could give them that access with a professional profile. That's right, Carrie. It depends on what you want them to do. It all depends what your needs are. But regardless, this gives them access to just that. Here's another one. Your personal profile is limited to 5,000 friends / followers. All right? A business page is unlimited. You have to understand, Facebook does not want you using your personal profile for business. That's not what they want, okay? They want to push you towards using the business page for business. And they have reasons for that, which we don't need to get into now. So they limit it. If they see that you have more than 5,000, they're like, okay, that's not a personal profile anymore. If you're super popular, then you're still a brand. They want you to have a business profile. So it's limited to 5,000. 5,000 may seem like a lot, but, don't put a ceiling on your abilities. You don't know what you'll be able to do. Okay, everybody got it? It's a simple little fact. Rich says, how much info do I need to put on my page about my broker? What I say, honestly, the legal minimum. Whatever you legally have to, and beyond that, that's enough for your broker. Then just put stuff about yourself, you're promoting yourself, and you're promoting you as a real estate professional. Look up what legally is required, put that amount, and nothing more. Louis says, can you turn a personal into a business later down the road? No, you cannot. On Instagram, you could do that. On Facebook, you cannot. They're two separate platforms. The Facebook personal versus Facebook business. Okay, so Luis, on Instagram, I know you could do that. On Facebook, you cannot. Good question. Thank you, Luis. Here's the biggest doozy of them all while you want to use a business page. Everybody see this. This is the big boom. Facebook reviews. Okay. How many of you guys found me through Facebook reviews on the Prep Agent page? These are extremely powerful. Facebook reviews are extremely powerful. They can be done on your business page. Why are they powerful? Well, for a number of reasons. Okay, most importantly, they are from verified users. So if Brielle Rambo posts something on my Facebook page, says Joe's great, you will see her Facebook profile, so you know she's a real person. Everybody got it? That's the biggest reason, no real person. So if you click, you can't get all her personal information because, you're not friends with her, but you can verify that it's a real person, as opposed to somebody who just copy and paste stuff and put it on their website. You don't know where it came from if it's a real person. All right, everybody got that? It's a verifiable source. I'm going to write that. I'm going to write that on the board here. It is a verifiable source. Everybody got that? Who thinks that's pretty big? That's a doozy. And when Brielle writes that on my Facebook page, I cannot delete it. Has everybody got that? I cannot delete it. All I can do is respond to her, ask her to take it down. If it's something offensive and it's something rude and inappropriate, I have to get Facebook to take it down for me. Who did not realize that? If you did not realize that, I'm glad you're here today because I think it's really important you understand that. So, like if Amanda Olson writes something on my Facebook page and I don't like it, there's only two things I could do. I could either write to Amanda and be like, Amanda, that was messed up. Why'd you say that? And she may be like, my bad. I had like a bad day and, I just felt like being mean to somebody and you were my target. I'll take it down. Or I got to go to Facebook and write to them to take it down. It goes through a review process and it's a whole thing. And just so you guys know, if I have Facebook do it, Facebook needs a good reason. And so if somebody's posting inappropriate reviews, that's just not right, Facebook deems it, they could ban that person. So it's a big deal. When Facebook takes a person down, they're going to take serious action. So they don't just take any post down, but when they do, they will ban that person from doing reviews, period, if it's like really offensive and bad. So that's a big deal. Amanda, you wouldn't write any bad reviews, right? Please. All right, let's move on. Helpful so far? What do you guys think? Helpful? Doing good? If so, let's keep going. All right, so here I have a picture of a Facebook page of this guy here, Jordan Suber. Great guy, working out of Austin, Texas. And he's got his reviews, 5 out of 5 reviews. You see it right there. Big and bold and awesome. Okay? So 5 out of 5. That pops out to you. Now, a little hint about the reviews. If you guys are just starting out, you don't need to sell 1 million properties to get reviews. Remember I said about be helpful? And you don't need to sell, go right for the big sell? If you come up to me, so if Diana Bruner comes up to me and says, Joe, I'm new to the community and I'm a real estate agent, I can help you. And you're like, I don't want to buy a house yet. Don't worry. What are you looking for? Restaurants, schools. And I spend time helping her out. I explain to her the schools, explain to her restaurants. It's not rude of me to say, hey, Diana, if I helped you out and you appreciate, would you mind writing a review? You don't have to say you bought a house with me, but can you just write a review saying that, I was helpful and knowledgeable about the area? Okay? And most people, if you are helpful, of course they'll do it. And let's be honest, guys, what sticks out to you about the reviews? All right? 5 out of 5, right? You don't even know what it says. Obviously, some people read it and you want generally good reviews, but it says 5 out of 5. Who agrees with me? I mean, most people don't read the details. See the 5 out of 5. Those 5 out of 5 on Jordan's could be like, I like pizza, chimichangas, sushi, and a hamburger. They could just say that, and we probably wouldn't know. All right? They just see that number. So here's a little piece of advice for you. Get people to write reviews as often as possible every time you do something nice for them. Every time you have a positive interaction with somebody, I'm going to write this here because I think it's important. Every time you have a positive interaction, get a review. And by the way, you could also do this on LinkedIn. But don't do anything and get nothing. But every time you have a positive reaction, get a review. Denise Nunez says, can you have family give you stars? Of course you can. Pretty messed up if your mom wouldn't do that for you, right? The only thing, Denise, is I don't know how much family you have, all right, but it's limited. The idea is to get 50 or 100 reviews. So, your family might be limited. Also, if they all have the same last name. But, definitely get your family to get the ball rolling for sure. Okay, M. Vendez says, does your page have to be strictly about real estate or can you put stage ideas, decor? And absolutely. Don't be so stuffy. I love that you wrote that. It doesn't strictly have to be about prices of homes. You could do things in your page that are related to real estate. In fact, I think it's a good idea. about staging ideas, decor, other things related. Anything related to living in a home will kind of create that buzz about you as a real estate agent. Be creative with this stuff, guys. Have fun with it. All right. So you got the reviews here. It's great stuff on this guy Jordan's page. I want to emphasize something here. If you guys have not passed yet, you do not need a real estate license to grow your sphere of influence. I get this all the time. It makes my head explode. Boom. So I just want to really re-emphasize this point. You don't need a real estate license to grow your sphere of influence. All your sphere of influence is, just so we could get away from real estate lingo, it's just you calling people and be like, hey, what's up? I haven't spoken in a while. How you doing? Remember me from high school? Because when you call somebody you haven't spoken for 20 years, your first conversation shouldn't be like, hey, I know we haven't spoken in a while. I was the guy who asked you out on prom and you rejected me, but I don't know. You selling your house? I just think, you should let me list your house. What's up? But if you just contact people with a simple happy birthday, how are the kids doing? What's going on? Create a different first contact and get that conversation going. That's growing your sphere of influence. Nothing's better to grow your sphere of influence than social media, because you don't actually have to call everybody. It could be done as simple as liking a post, responding to somebody. I had somebody who I haven't spoken to since high school, and just so you guys know, I graduated high school in 1994, and she wished me happy birthday. I didn't even like her that much in high school. But she said, hey, Joe, happy birthday. I know we haven't spoken for a while. Glad to see you're doing well. And I was like, asked her how she's doing. We started a conversation. Are we best friends now? No. But are we friendly? Yes. Would it be crazy for me to ask me what I'm doing for business? No. If I want to list my home, would I talk to her about it? Maybe. It opened the door. It's a simple conversation. Okay? So it totally works. Keep it genuine. That's right. All right. So just to be clear, you could start your social media platform. If you don't have your license yet, just don't state license activities. But you don't need a real estate license to say homes are pretty. People who say, I can't do it, I don't have my license yet. Those people drive me crazy. All right? Everybody got this? And this goes for people who passed already. I'm going to sound angry now, so calm me down. Calm me down if you have to. All right? When people say, I can't start my social media, I haven't passed my exam yet, they are the type of people who will continue to set excuses not to do something over and over again. I cannot stand it when people constantly put up barriers to do something. All right? If you don't like the way to do something, find a different way to get it done. All right? If you are like me, you'll do fine. But if you're somebody who always finds an obstacle, I don't have my real estate license yet. I can't do X, Y, and Z, but what can I do? While I'm studying, I could start an Instagram profile talking about different types of decor. I could start a Twitter page, maybe talking about real estate values in the area and how I feel about it. I could start maybe a Pinterest about different styles of construction that I really find interesting, all right? Those are people who create and find solutions. People who just find obstacles drive me nuts, right? Who else is with me? Who else does that drive nuts? Anybody know people like that? All right. There's things you could do. Find a way to get things done. If it doesn't work, do something else. Oh, sorry, I had to calm down. Somebody give me a hug. All right. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You guys have a golden opportunity as a new agent. I think everybody here is either brand new or they are waiting to pass. You guys have a golden opportunity because of everything we talking about. All the social media stuff. Get going with it. All those dinosaurs who've been practicing real estate for the past 15, 20 years, if they don't update their practices, they are going to go to the wayside, gone with the dust, because Social media online is where it's at before the virus came, and now the coronavirus is a big deal. I don't know about these old school ways of door knocking, handing out business cards at a party. Not the best method, right? Okay, Gianna says, if you're not the broker, what's a good way to name your page? Just put your name, Gianna Valili, real estate agent. Think of more as a resume portfolio than a lead generator. Okay, Mahid said, how do you get people to visit your new Facebook page? You just tell them. You tell them to go there. The Facebook page is more of a resume. You tell people to get there. The way you're going to get people there is through things like Facebook groups is a big one, and we'll talk about that in another webinar. I believe Stu did one on that. Instagram, you can do it through YouTube, but the Facebook page itself is more of like a landing page. It's like a resume to show people what you've done. Amanda says, what if you haven't passed the test yet? What should you name it? If you are starting a professional page and you haven't passed yet, do not say you are a realtor. Okay? Do not say you are a realtor. Okay? What can you say? Ready for this? Real estate expert, real estate connoisseur. Sorry, my spelling's terrible. How do you spell connoisseur? Anybody know? I don't know. Real estate advisor, future real estate agent, community expert. You know, you guys be creative. There's a lot. Real estate guru. Lily says, but isn't it lying to say we're an expert? Okay, Lily, if you're not comfortable with that one, go with something else. Or Amanda, you ready for this one? I'm going to blow your mind on this one. Ready, Amanda? Everybody ready? Amanda Olson, real estate. How about that? Very ambiguous. Just keep it simple. There's nothing wrong with what I just wrote on the board. Amanda Olson, real estate. What do you guys think of that? I think I like that one. Just your name, real estate, done. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say you're an agent. It doesn't say you're a realtor. You could use those words. What do you guys think? Does this fall into the category of do not overthink it? Do not overthink it, right? Who loves that and says, you know what? Just keep it simple. So you can have some of that. Like Mike Blumenkrantz, real estate. Even though Mike Blumenkrantz is real estate barista, I'm with you, Mike. We're getting Starbucks together sometime. Okay, so you got the nice little professional header up there. So you could do this as Jordan has up here. Got his nice little page going on. Organize your photos and videos that is solely for your business. That is a big one. So when I say your Facebook page is a real estate resume, that's what it is. If you have your personal page, you're mixing it with your vacation to Cancun where you're doing inappropriate things. I know a lot of you guys are like, what? Not me. Then why'd you go on vacation in Cancun? All right, so you kind of only have pictures of real estate, of things you're doing that are professional and business-like. Okay, so photos and videos of that, and you separate it from the personal stuff. All right. Who agrees with me? If you go to a place like Cancun and you don't do anything like silly, then why do you go? All right, here's examples of Jordan's photos. All his photos here is done with the purpose of getting business. He does business with his wife, Melanie, and they work together. He's got pictures of her. He's got a picture of his dog saying, my parents are realtors. Okay, all that good stuff. Rachel says, where did you go, Joe? Can you guys hear me? I'm still here. You guys got me? Am I still connected with you guys? Rachel said, where'd you go? Somebody tell me you could hear me so I know we're still connected. Oh, okay, you can hear me? Then why is Rachel scaring me like that? Okay, Rachel, you know I'm insecure about my audio. If you guys want to mess with me when I do a webinar, just keep writing what, and I'll totally get messed up. This is probably the biggest reason you want a Facebook business page. Privacy. If I'm messaging you because I want you to be my realtor, all right, I don't need you knowing my personal stuff just as much as you don't want me knowing yours. It stays on the business page. If I message you on the personal page, when you answer it, you know my personal info. We become friends on that personal page. Everybody got it? But if I message you the business page, you respond to me, but it does not give you access to my personal profile. Everybody got that? Privacy's a big deal. You could message people back and forth without having access to the personal information. That's a big one. And the messaging has a lot of features, like you could have canned responses, things of that nature on the Facebook messaging. But the biggest one is privacy. Privacy is a big deal as you become a real estate agent. There's a lot of crazies out there. But the reality is you got to put yourself out there. That's how people do business. You can't do business under your couch, hidden under your couch. But you can be very calculated in what you put out and how you communicate with people. And through the Facebook business page, you could communicate with them without giving them access to their personal information. All right? Obviously, you could organize business information in appropriate fashion, just like Jordan did here. He's got the likes, the followers. He has his phone number here. He's got his email, what he does. Everything there that he wants to disclose. This cannot be organized like this on your personal page. All right, everybody got it? But on your business page, you can be set up very nicely. I love that you guys are attending. I really appreciate it because this is something I'm pretty passionate about now. I did a lot of work in years past about helping people get past the exam, but I really want people to get to the next stage. I want people to actually do business. It just, not to get personal with you guys, but it used to break my heart that people would pass and then they would say, well, what do I do now? And they wouldn't be successful. And I don't know. I just couldn't stand that anymore. I didn't like it. I felt like I was setting people up for failure, and that's just not who I am. Because I tried so hard to get people past, but I realized it just doesn't end there. So I really hope you guys follow Agent School because instead of me crying about that, I wanted to do something about it. So we created this whole channel. It's all free to you guys to make sure that after you guys pass, even if you already passed, you could actually be successful because I know that's the real point of all this. It's not just for you guys to pass. And I was just tired of living my life with people passing and then saying thank you. And then a year later, they're not in the business anymore. And if I'm really being sincere about helping people, I got to see you guys through. See it through until you're actually successful. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to go on that personal little rant. Okay, moving along. All right. Walter says, maybe a dumb question, but do I use my personal number or a different line? Walter, not a dumb question at all. Thank you, Walter Corbin, for that question. You want to use two separate numbers. If you guys don't know this, many of you guys who have iPhones or different types of phones where you could have a dual SIM card. Who's ever heard of a dual SIM card? You don't need to buy two phones. You could have one phone with two phone numbers on it. So it's a great question, Walter. Thank you for asking. You guys could have two phone numbers on one phone, just with something called a dual SIM card. And if you do that, you will know if somebody's calling in from the business or from personal. All right. I know a lot of you guys are disappointed. You're like, oh, cool. I was totally ready to get. I totally need another phone. What's that new iPhone? And, I totally need it. I just got to have it because, I need 2 numbers. Nonsense. Hate to disappoint you, but you don't need to buy another phone. How many of you guys are a little bit disappointed that I said that because you wanted to buy the new phone? Yeah, Amanda says you could get a number from Google and have it sent to your number. Thank you, Amanda. So there's different solutions for that. All right, brand management. You put together your professional profile pic. Looks different than your personal one. Like my buddy Jordan here has here. Events. You could schedule events. What is the obvious event? Open houses. Open houses would be the obvious event for this. Open houses, networking events. You could schedule through your Facebook page, business page. You cannot do that through the personal page. Participating group as the business. So you could participate in groups, which is very important. We do another webinar on that as your business page instead of your personal one, which is great because then they communicate with their business page. They see that brand instead of your personal profile. It's a big one. All right. And this is the example here. When I go on a group, a Facebook group, everybody see what I do here? I put it on the board. I choose how I want to interact. I can interact as prep agent, as Joe Judah, the professional one, which is the bottom, or on top, Joe Judah, the personal one. Okay. And I choose to interact when I want as Joe Judah as my business one. I never interact in groups as my personal one. Everybody see that? Who didn't think of that? Hopefully you think of that, and that's a good one. And generally speaking, in groups, it's a good idea to interact like that because you don't want everybody always knowing your personal business, like we said before. So this kind of helps guard you from that while still being able to interact. Brielle says, how often do you advise posting on your biz page? Daily. Just make it part of your daily routine, like checking your emails. And in another webinar, we'll talk about how to plan that out, how to make sure one post could go on multiple platforms. So make sure you stay tuned so it's not as overwhelming as you think. Thank you for that question, Brielle. Insights and analytics of what's working and what's not. Remember we said that person you hire to help you? Well, this is the kind of stuff that'll help you with. Not possible on the personal page, but those insights and analytics, that's when you hire that outside person who has access. I think in an earlier slide, we said it gives you access. Well, here you go. All right, this is the kind of stuff you want them to give access to. Carolina says, how many social platforms should we have? Honestly, I would stick to 2. I wouldn't go beyond that. It depends how much time you want to spend on it, but you don't want to get too crazy, obviously, because it gets to be a nightmare managing. Mike Blumenkrantz says, I have agents posting on Nextdoor. I do not, but I'm going to look that up, Mike. Thank you. This is why we do this. Mike Blumenkrantz, I'm going to check out Nextdoor, and in a future webinar, I'm going to have an opinion on that one. All right? Thank you for bringing that up. All right, guys. So that's it for today. I gave you a lot of information. I hope it was helpful. We're going to be doing these every day this week. All right, at this time. So make sure you stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. There's my Instagram. All right, Cynthia and Stu are going to do some this week as well. And if you have ideas of what you want me to do for a subject, like Mike just had a great idea about doing for Nextdoor, send me a message through Instagram. My personal Instagram is where I'm responding to people the most. If you send it through the other venues, you're probably going to get our staff. But if you want to get directly to me, send it through my Instagram page. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I truly appreciate you being here, and let's all be successful together. Thank you, Lily Rosas. All right. I saw you messaging me through Instagram. I appreciate it. Elsa Fierro, we will absolutely do one on LinkedIn. In fact, Elsa, I think Thursday, I'm doing a webinar on LinkedIn. I'll be doing one on LinkedIn on Thursday. Thank you, Elsa, for mentioning that. So on Thursday, I'll be doing one on LinkedIn. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks, everybody. Bye.